Okay, great. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining me. Thanks for having me today. I'm Vince with Listings to Leads, and we're kind of going to go over some of the new stuff happening, some of the new tools that we've released for your office, Keller Williams, over in Woodbury. So, what I've done is what I want to kind of focus on, or we have two new, completely new tools that are related to social media and also just automation, right? So this is one thing right here. We call it auto posting for social media, and we're actually posting your listings when they hit the system, and also posting your listings every time the status changes. So when it goes from just listed to open house, we repost to your social media. You'll see here in the center, this is an automated message that I get because it's posting my listings up. And I have my Twitter and my LinkedIn accounts connected, so it's posting to that. If you have Facebook, it'll also post to your business pages. And so once your listings, you may not know this or you do know it, they automatically flow into our system via List Hub. So you put it in your MLS, KWLS sweeps it, gives it to List Hub, and sends it to us. And if you have auto posting set up, you're going to start getting messages like this that say, hey, post this, we posted this for you to your social media. If you want to look at it, all you have to do is click on, let's just click on Twitter here, and it'll show us what it looks like out on those platforms. Now, the cool thing about it is you don't actually have to touch it to have it look like this. We're putting in emojis, we're putting in the hashtags, and of course, if somebody clicks on the link in the ad, in the post, or on the picture, it's gonna open up one of our tools. And you probably know this, our tools are designed to capture leads for you. In this case, it's an open house. And you can tell it's an open house because there's kind of a ticking time bomb scenario there. These tools are always available. We may be emailing to you, you may be logging into your account and grabbing them, but now we're auto posting them to your social media, right? And so if a consumer sees this and wants to get more information, they can click this button here that says continue with Facebook. That little website popping up on the side is us grabbing your email or their email and their name from Facebook and delivering it to the agent. And then I have to drop in the number. If I want to go any further, that's a setting that you can sort of create. But then the consumer is dropped on the full single property website that is hosted by us. And you have the contact information of the person interested in this home. Okay. So that flow, in case, we all forgot, was you put your listing in your MLS, it auto pushes to listings to leads. And when you set up your profile, we will auto post it to your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Okay. And what is behind those posts is our lead capture. And when we capture those leads, we send them to you and to you only. So that's kind of the thing that I want to talk about first. How do we set that up? I'm logged in somewhere as one of your agents, perhaps one of you that's sitting in the office. So when you log in, you're going to see these kinds of things here on the top. Facebook advertising is big to us, open house lead gen. But down here in the calendar, it says now live auto posting for listings, Facebook and Twitter. If you click on that green button, it's going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to do what I'm about to show you right now. So while I'm talking fast and clicking around and you get confused, when you log in, you can click right here on this green button and just read it and follow the steps. But let's go into it right now. I'm in as Wendy Gimple, and you go to your profile. Each of you have a login and password. You can go to your profile. You could put your photograph here if you wanted to do that. And then there's all kinds of things here. You should also connect to your YouTube. I think you're all using Gmail. If you have Gmail, it means you have your own YouTube connection, so you can connect that right here. It says YouTube connection. But what we're really focusing on right now is auto posting. And so what you want to do, I'm going to check, you'll come to the page and it looks like this. Check all three of these boxes. And what this means, and check them and save it. This means that when you get a new listing in the system, auto post it to your social media. When you change the status of a listing, auto post it to your social media. Okay. And then the last box, which is already checked, is when the price is reduced, auto post it to your social media, right? These are all great times to tell the market something's going on in real estate. And you probably don't want to take the time to do that to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So now we're automatically doing it. So that's step one. Click on auto posting, check all three of those boxes, and save it. Step two is to go to Facebook, and let's click on Facebook and let that kind of populate. And what you need to do is, one, connect to Facebook. And if I do that, we'll kind of go halfway through there. Two, choose the pages that you want it to go to. So I'm going to click connect Facebook, then I'll choose my page. And then three, copy this content to this side. So I'm going to click connect to Facebook. And what it's going to do is actually reach out to Facebook, and I can say continue as Vincent. Now that's me. The reason I want you to see this is it's going to recognize your personal account. Your business pages are connected to your personal account. So you're going to continue as yourself. And then once you do that, it's going to bring you back to listings to leads. And in this case, we'll see what it does here. Yeah, so it's actually telling me to connect. But if I had connected, and I don't want to do that because then I'd be posting her listings to my account, it'll show you, you can click in this box right here, and it shows you all of your business pages and community pages. You might have multiple pages. You can choose all the ones that you wanted to go to, and then you're set on step two. Step three kind of seems a little bit silly to me, but it's actually a requirement for these social media companies. They want you, the agent, to have some sort of skin in the game or acknowledgement that we're auto posting for you. And the way to do that is to say that you're actually in control of the content that's going to automatically go out. So in this case, you got to click copy and then go into this blank box and click paste. And then you can save that. Now I can save this for Wendy, and this won't actually do anything until she connects her Facebook account and goes and chooses the pages that she wants it to go to and then hit save. So similar, if you do this on Twitter, same thing. Connect to your Twitter account and copy this. And notice that we're actually putting emojis in there and also hashtags. So emojis, if you don't know this, are really powerful for capturing leads and attention on all social media. I think it's because consumers feel like there's a real person behind it. You can add more things here, you can edit it, but that's going to be the language that we're using, that we're auto posting. And that's why it looks, when you see it here, and I'm going to save it, that's why it looks like this right here. Because you have saved on your profile that information, although I'm lost again, that information. So now every time there's a status change on a property, it's going to go up to your social media. And the same is true for LinkedIn. So all Wendy has to do now is log in and go to her profile and connect her Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter accounts. You should all be able to do that. If you've got listings and you want them to go up there automatically, then that's great. The thing that's great about especially posting it automatically to Facebook is from Facebook, you can just go to your business page and auto post there, or you can boost there. So if you don't want to go and write an ad, we're already pushing it to your social media with the lead capture behind it. Once you see this on Facebook, you can just scroll down and click boost and say, I want everybody who's over 30 years old within 20 miles to see this. And that's a super smart thing to do because Facebook is great for any kind of lead capture, whether it's buyers or sellers. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about, is that we have this automated way to get your listings at every status to your social media accounts with lead capture behind it. It's something that we try to train all of you to do. Some of you do that and some of you don't. So if you want it to happen automatically, I just showed you how you set that up. You go to your profile, you click on auto posting, and you set it up there. Okay. Now there's some other automation that we also released just probably almost 2 months ago. And it is in the landing page section. And I'm going to click on landing pages. And I don't know if Wendy has any landing pages created. She has one for Stillwater. So let's look at that just to look at the front. I'm going to click on the eyeball to the right and look at that. Now, this is a standard page. This is the standard default look for the background of this. I actually never recommend that you use this generic background page. And the reason I don't recommend it is that it doesn't really get any hits. If you're attaching it to some of our tools, it might hit. But if you were going to take this and put it on Facebook and say, Facebook, I want everybody that lives in Stillwater who's over 30 years old to see this, this is so generic, it would not necessarily, it probably wouldn't help you very much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what would work in the background. And so a good example, we do this a lot. I set up the offices around the country, and when I explain this, that page is literally one of the top tools to capture listing leads on the internet. There are other companies with tools like this, and every day we have clients coming from those other companies saying that actually these pages work better. But what makes it work well is when you put something on the background image that is relevant to your market. And when I set this system up for Coldwell Banker in Summit, New Jersey, and Summit is a small town, like 25,000 people, their manager came back to me and said, Vince, we're all running ads, we're getting leads, this is awesome. And he wanted me to know that the number one picture, the number one property valuation landing page that was capturing leads the most was the one with the picture of Summit Diner in the background. And I want to point that out to you because I think whenever realtors are thinking, what do I got to put out on my marketing to make it look good? And you might think it might be a $1 million property. And it actually would not be that. It would actually be something that feels familiar to that market. In Summit, New Jersey, this restaurant's been in that town for more than 70 years. So if you live in Summit, you know this place. And that's what you're trying to convey, is just a little bit of confidence that I know the area that you live in. This, if I see this, I don't know, maybe I'm signing up for a national spam campaign, and nobody likes to do that. So you want to update that background picture before you do that. And the way that you do that when you create that landing page is when you create a landing page on the very first time, we drop you on this section which says background, and you can upload an image, right? That's where you upload an image. Maybe it's a diner, maybe it's a picture of the downtown. Who knows? You're going to figure that out. Maybe you're going to do a little A/B testing and figure out what the best photo is that works in your market. But the update that has been, that we released is right here under advanced options. And you can see there's another little red button that says new. And so click there and you're going to see that we have monthly follow-ups. So if I check this button, and I'm going to save this, so this will be active for Wendy now, should she use that page. This, from now on, every lead she captures on this page, wherever she puts it, she could put it on Google, she could put it on Facebook, she could put it on the side of her tools in our system. Whatever homeowner gets their update or gets their value is going to get a monthly update of the value. And that monthly update is all branded to you. All of your information is there. And so you're staying on top of these seller leads in a way that, and also there's also inside of here a calendar to say, hey, I actually want to have an evaluation. And I wanted to point that out because we just released this a couple months ago. And here in November, Thea from, I can't remember where Thea is, but she said, hey, I have a scheduled appointment. And she said, this is actually from, they received the auto update valuation. So she just wanted to share it so everybody knew that that was working. So just taking, if you're using these tools, if you're using our property valuation plus landing pages, click edit and turn on the valuation or turn on the auto updates under advanced options. One other thing, and I want to kind of point this out because this question comes up a lot. And I'm going to jump out of this account so I'm not like creating leads for Wendy, and she'll start pinging me and saying, "Hey, do I want to sell my home?" Let me see if I can get out of here, or how I can get out of here, um, and sign out as Wendy and sign in as me. So this I think that a lot of people, I can tell you, we probably have minimally 5 people every day of the week sign up on our system to get this property valuation page. We it's customizable. It really works well. The flow works well. And so, if you know how to put it out on the internet and run an ad on it, a lot of people will see it and they'll fill it out, and then you have listing leads. And so, but I'm going to kind of go through it so that you can see what it looks like in case you don't know it. But also, one of the questions that comes up is something called a partial lead. What is a partial lead? And I don't want partial leads. That's really where it sort of goes to. And so let's go through a landing page and we'll look at it. So let's look at my Cambridge landing page right here. And you'll see that on my property valuation Cambridge page, there's a picture of Cambridge, right? So it should make you feel like, yeah, you know the area I'm talking about. The way this page works is you drop in a residential address anywhere in the United States. And when you click that address, you click get the value estimate. At this point, Listings to Leads is going to send you a lead. We call it a partial lead. And that partial lead says somebody was on this landing page. They're going to say we're going to tell you it's a seller lead. They're on this landing page, which is my Cambridge page, and they're inquiring about this property. And that's kind of useful information. But what I want you to see right here is the second question, the second page, shows me a map of my home. And it also says we have your report ready, but to get that value, I have to give you my contact information. And that's where a lot of people will go away. 80% of people would rather leave this page than give you even a simple email address. So I'm gonna give you the email address, and then we're gonna kind of see what the results are. So at that point, you would have only got a partial lead. If I had walked away, you would just have a partial lead. You'll know, oh, I'm interested, but I'm not interested enough to give you my contact info. At this point, though, because I get a value of my home, and I see the most recent home sold, and I see a map. But you, the agent, also have my contact info and these values, and you know where this all came from. So agents really love to have that as a lead, right? I've got somebody's address, and I got their email address, and I know they're interested in the value of the home. So now you can sort of tackle any kind of conversion. How are you going to get a meeting with them and get them in a listing appointment? But a lot of people and a lot of agents love that. They love to run an ad on the weekend and get 100 listing leads, and that's cool stuff. But there are a lot of agents that feel like, I don't actually want a lead. I don't want a partial lead. So I want to show you how to configure this so that you don't get a partial lead. That the only leads you can get are full leads. So this is my page for Wesley Chapel, right? And you can see I put a picture of Wesley Chapel in the background so that everybody's comfortable with that. But down here in the form fields, this is where we can customize this section here. So first of all, we want to click custom. And now we can customize this so it looks kind of the same. You can see that my box has changed. But what I want to do here is change what's in here. So you can see it's asking for the address. Now I want to say, hey, I want to actually drag the email up here under the address. So right here and drop it. And I'm going to make email required. You can see that there's a unit if you're doing a lot of business with condos, but this is hidden. And then you could add phone number. I don't recommend that at all because it just scares people away. I've got it hidden here, but you could make it optional or required. Requiring a phone number is one of those things that agents often ask about, And it's one of those great ways of just shooting your lead gen right in the foot. People are loath to give you their phone number. You need to communicate with them a handful of times before you're going to do that, before you can actually get a phone number. But I just am putting it there, and then let's click save, and we'll notice that the lead form over on the right changes. So we'll give it a second to do that. I'll have a sip of coffee. So now I've got an address. Let's just go look at it. For them to get their home value, I got to get their address and email. And now if I click the estimate, you're going to know the landing page it came from, the address that they're after, and the email address. You probably will get fewer leads than the original default section, but every lead you have is going to have an email address. And there's also something else, and I don't think your office is subscribed to it there, but I am going to kind of point it out, and it's text IVR. And text IVR, this is something that many realtors are familiar with having unique codes for their properties, right? For a sign writer or for an ad. If you put a sign writer out in front of a house and it says this home is for sale and here's my phone number, or text this number to that number to get instant information, or dial this number and hit that code. That's what text IVR is. But we also have it for landing pages, all right? And on landing pages, you can associate that with this page. So if I go here, this is my Pleasant Hill landing page. Notice my Pleasant Hill says, or text this number, 96250 to 88264 1910. And there are two great things about this. One is we developed a chat bot, like a text bot, which means it's going to ask you 3 or 4 questions, like, do you want to be notified via email, or would you rather have a snail mail? Or just ask some real basic questions, the basic questions that you should ask any lead. And it's real time. It happens as soon as you get the lead. I don't know if you can see this or if you have your smartphone, but I would recommend that you test this to see how it works. Text 96250 to 888-264-1910. And I'll tell you why this is so valuable. One, it's embedded. If you're running an ad, you should always use this. And the number one reason why, you may already know this, but people don't respond very quickly to emails, right? You might have a drip campaign set up for every lead that you capture. And you might drip on them for 6 months or 12 months or 18 months or whatever. And then one day they actually respond, right? When you capture a lead, a lot of people will capture a lead, and it might be an address or it might be an email, and they go and they kind of drop that in whatever. They search it on Facebook, they search it on Google, and they find their number and they call them just right out of the blue. Hey, you filled out a form of mine and I thought I'd give you a call. People do not like that. They just don't like it. You may try it and you'll find that you may not get the best reception from that. But when people give you a phone number and they text you something and you start texting them back, they respond faster there than anywhere else. As an example, I sent an email to a client of ours, just a courtesy follow-up email. They signed up for our platform, Listings to Leads. He was a lender. And I said, hey, there's some new technology, the technology I'm showing you right now. And I sent that message to him. I was like, these are things you need to turn on. Let me know if you want to call and I'll walk you through it, right? Just a simple courtesy follow-up for our client. Then I called them in 5 seconds, right? In 10 seconds, just to call him and say, hey, I just sent you an email, but I just wanted you to know. And he said, oh, that's great. Could you send me that email again? I do want to do that, but I deleted it as soon as I got your email. That's what people do with email, right? They don't delete text messages as fast as anything else. And just having that as part of your ads can be really helpful, because capturing leads is fun, but converting leads into business is really where it's at. And texting is a really powerful way of doing that. So yeah, you can sign up as an individual agent and you can associate it to the landing pages. And I do recommend that you test that out, because the chatbot is ridiculously powerful in that it's just automatically asking questions from you to them. You don't have to set up the questions. We've already set them up. It just sort of starts to engage them, and then you get those answers, and then you can start responding. So that's some of the new technology that is available on that. So, Angela or Ann, if you're there, are there any questions about what I've been talking about right now? This is some of the latest stuff.
Yeah, actually, two that I have. The auto posting. Does that work for like borrowed leads for like the
Borrowed
agents that,
listings? Yes.
yeah, borrowed listings?
Yep.
So if you're using a borrowed listing and that status changes in the that automatically,
It will
or
go
no, I think,
automatically. Yeah. So let me go over to the listing section. So you got to go to your profile and set it up one time. And then if
yep,
you pull listings into your account, whether they're borrowed or whether they're yours or whether they come in from the feed or whatever, they're going to start getting posted as soon as you start pulling them in. And it actually happens in like 90 seconds. It's really fast. But
okay,
this property here is it's active. If I say, well, now it's pending, and I change this to pending, in 90 seconds, once I've made this change, it's going to go out to the market, right? And I'm going to change it again, and I'm going to say it's sold, and it's going to be reposted again, right? Now, you wouldn't want to do that, especially within 5 seconds of each other. But the cool thing about our posting on something that's sold is that the lead capture, the call to action on just sold advertising is straight up designed to capture more leads for you, right? This is a single property website for just sold advertising. It looks like our single property website when it's just listed. The only difference is that there's a red banner that says just sold. But the lead capture that pops up, and you can see it popping up right now, says that that is going to affect your home value. And if you want to get the closing price, give me your email. If you want your free instant home value right now, drop in your address. This is all lead capture for you as agents. So yeah, you want to get into the listings page and start taking advantage of all those statuses. Setting up an open house. If your open houses are not flowing in via the MLS and List Hub, then click log in, get to your listing, click edit, drop the I'll click edit here and go over here to open house and just save the date and time, and bang, we're gonna auto post that to Facebook. We're gonna auto post that to LinkedIn and Twitter. And I think this is this is an actual open house, so you can see what happens, what it looks like on LinkedIn as an open house. Let's just give it a second to do its thing there. So this says open house in Valencia by me, and get it, click for instant access, and there's some hashtags on it. And if I click on this, our landing page pops up. And what is that going to do? That's going to capture leads for me, right? So take advantage of the status changes is what I'm trying to point out here. Set your open house. If the price reduces, update. If it doesn't even come in automatically from the feed, which it should, edit it and take advantage of it, because then the call to actions are totally different again, right? Any other questions on that one?
not on that, but one more question on the landing page auto follow up. Is
Okay.
that to the auto follow up? Do they go to previous leads from those landing pages?
I think they do, yes, which is amazing
Okay.
to me, because you might have a page in the landing page section, you've been collecting leads for a year. All you got to do is go turn on that auto follow up, and even those back leads start to get this message. That's your question, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, and we've seen that. The agent Thea who had said, like, wow, I wanted to share this. This lady here, this was an old lead that she had captured a while ago. And then we set up an auto update, and they looked at the update and they created an appointment because that functionality was right there in the update. So, yeah, definitely, if you've been capturing leads with property valuation pages, go in there and take advantage of that. So,
That's awesome.
any other questions on that?
I think so.
Okay. So let's jump into a couple of other things. I want to show you also some of the things that's kind of been really popular because you know technology that's what we do, right? That's kind of our focus. Creating technology that is simple to use and capture leads. But a lot of our clients want to do things the old-fashioned way, like just send out a letter or send out a postcard. And in our mastermind group, Dustin Fox, who's actually over in the Maryland area, um, let us know that he took this letter and he printed it and he mailed it out to 250 homes. It cost him a little bit of money because he got some nice envelopes and he had to pay for, all the postage and all that. It cost him about $650, I think, something like that. He even put his little testimonials. He created this with Canva, and he put that in the letter, and he wants people to open it. So he did that, and in 4 months, he has 10 listings from that one activity. Okay, now he put this in July, and I can tell you he does this every, a few times a year now. But to mail one message and get 10 listings, and this is a message that he gave to me yesterday, it's a conversation, so you can definitely get in here and see what he's talking about. And there's actually 57 comments. There are a lot of agents saying, yeah, we do this with that letter, and this is the kind of leads we're getting. So you want to look at it, but this is just a simple tip. Dustin uses a black envelope because it looks different from just the junk mail that we all get. And he also has a really fancy Sharpie pen, and you can tell it's handwritten. It's a real person. And again, he's trying to get away from, people just throwing his work away, right? And he can tell you he's getting a much higher success rate by handwriting them, right? And he wrote this yesterday. So this is just good information. The reason I wanted to show that to you was a couple of important reasons. This letter is available for you on your listings page at every status. When the home is just listed, when the home is open house, when it's just sold, that letter is in the taskbar. I've got an open house here. So if you're doing an open house or if you're holding an open house for somebody else, I definitely recommend you click on the taskbar and you click on this little green button next to print flyer for nearby homeowners and send this to yourself or download it and print it. But notice that it's talking about the home. It says we've got an open house. Do a quick door knock. If they don't answer, just leave it there. If you're using text, they can text that and they can get that information, a mobile optimized website on their smartphone. You're going to get their phone number on your smartphone. So you're going to be able to communicate with them via text. But maybe they don't want to know about that house. Maybe they just want to know their home value. So on the lower half of the page is a place where they can type in and go and get their home value. So you left something on their door and they may not have answered the door. I can tell you in that conversation on Facebook with Dustin Fox, agents say, oh yeah, we print 20 of these and door knock every time we have something going on, right? And so I just want you to know it's there because it's been a lot of our clients are talking about it. And it's pretty simple. And especially if you're holding an open house, the whole point of putting a sign in front of a home that's for sale, and the reason you put a sign out on the corner on the weekend is so people know that you've got an open house. And yeah, of course you want to get buyers, but wouldn't you love to get a few more homes for sale in that neighborhood? That's what that print flyer is all about. It is automatically written. All you got to do is get it in front of people. So the other reason why I'm showing you this is in case you don't know it, this Listings to Leads Mastermind group is a secret group that you can't actually find by searching for in Facebook. We only allow our clients to be here, and that's why people share so much information because they know their clients are trying just like them to grow their business, right? And a cool thing that, and so what I want to point out is to get to be part of this group, you should all log into your own Facebook, go to your settings page like I am right now, and there is something that says the primary contact email. Make sure that you can get email at that address. Some people have email addresses in there that are years old. They don't even know how to access it anymore. Make sure that that is current. And if it's not, just click edit over here and get it. But get that email address, log into your account, go to support, drop that email address in your support page, and just say, please add me to the mastermind group. That's the simplest way to do that. You will get an email from Facebook to that email address, and it's going to say you've been invited to this group. Click to join, and when you click to join, you're going to be part of the group. And you should definitely be scanning what people are doing, because things change all the time on Facebook, all the time. And what also changes on Facebook is what's the language that's working, right? And you want to know what that is. You don't want to have to kind of reinvent the wheel. Our clients are sharing all the time what's working. You may know Lori Ballin. I think she was an old KW agent. And here she's just saying she just got a luxury listing from this tool. So she's just letting everybody know it's still working for her. But a lot of cool, I think what I absolutely love about this group, just like Dustin, they're going to say, hey, I ran an ad and it looked just like this. I spent this much money and I got this number of leads, right? So there's a lot of questions asked here, and that's what you want to sort of know. What tool can I use to get leads, right? So my recommendation is get in the mastermind group. So I've kind of been rattling on for a little bit. What I want to do now is create a property valuation landing page, customize it, and run an ad on Facebook. But if there's anything else that you want me to do, let me know now, and I would gladly do that for
No, I think we're good on our end.
you. Okay. So I'm going to go through this because, like I said, it's one of the top ways of capturing listings. And we train on this all the time. And we want our clients to know how to get more listings and how to get more business. And the number one venue or platform is actually Facebook. So if you wanted to know how to do what I'm about to tell you, there's a button right here that says learn more about Facebook advertising. That's going to tell you what I'm about to show you. And what I'm going to show you is how you create this landing page. Now, you should have a property valuation page for every town that you want to grow your business, your listing business, right? Now, I don't know exactly where you are, but I'm kind of thinking that you're in those areas where there's towns of 20,000 and 30,000, and you drive 10 miles away and there's another town like that. So you're probably building your business in 4 or 5 of those towns. If you're in a big city, there might be neighborhoods that you want to focus on, right? Like, for instance, you could be in Los Angeles and you'd really like to build your business in Beverly Hills. Well, you would create a Beverly Hills page, right? There might be a particular neighborhood. I used to live over in Delaware, and there's Wilmington, right? Wilmington is a big kind of industrial town. You may not want to build your business in Wilmington, but a suburb of Wilmington is Greenville, and this is awesome property. And you definitely would want to build a business there. So you might build a page for Greenville that is specific to, that neighborhood. And so you want it to work that way. What you want to do is come to the landing page section and create a property valuation plus page. And then you can type in something like Woodbury. And each of you should literally have one of these property valuation pages for wherever you are trying to build your listing inventory. Type in the name, just the city, and click Add Landing Page. And at this point, we're going to take you to the live editor, right? And the live editor there's just a couple of things you need to do here. So I'm going to sip my coffee while this bakes. and it drops you on our generic picture, right? This is not a really useful picture. I know everybody has a computer and a paper and pen and coffee, but this does not instill confidence when you push this up on the internet that you know anything about Woodbury. So first thing, that's why we drop you right here, is upload an image of Woodbury, right? Now, I'm not going to waste our time and go getting a picture of Woodbury, but I'll go get this picture here. And I'll save it. And you can see that when you'll see it in a second, this page or this picture is like a local kind of, it's the waterfront of, in this case, I can't remember what town it was. But sometimes just a downtown street works. And I kind of already explained to you like a restaurant. But I think you would know if you knew the area that this is part of your town. And so this kind of look can totally work. Since we've been talking about the auto follow-up, you definitely got to turn up the auto follow-up. So save that there, check that box there, and save there, and you're all done. So at that point, I think we're ready to go, right? That for me is as far as I want really people to go. Now you can click view, and you've got your landing page. It's customized to look like what it is you want it to look like, and we're going to take it over to Facebook. So here, my guess is some of you know how to run an ad on Facebook. And so this may seem a little boring, but I am going to I'm going to move relatively fast, but I'm going to point out the areas where people make mistakes. And I can tell you, we've been doing ads since Facebook had advertising, which really began as soon as they went public because they need to start making money. And what we know, we got clients running ads all over the country. We run ads all over the country. So we kind of know what we're talking about here. And so I want you to kind of pay attention because there are so many gurus out there. And I just got off the phone. Somebody was telling one of our clients, Facebook doesn't work anymore. It's saturated. People are all over the place. Every 48 hours, I've got somebody in our mastermind group telling me, we just got a bunch of leads from Facebook doing this. This is what we spent, and this is what we do. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do that. Open up this little menu here and go to create ads. You can boost, but that's a different way. There are some pluses and minuses to boosting. But I'm not going to show you that because this is the best way to do it. We're creating an ad in the Facebook ad manager. This will only be tied to your business page. And it will not show up on your business page. So that's always a question that sort of freaks people out. I ran an ad, but I can't see it, right? So let's click here. Now, the number one thing you want to do, and this is from all of our experience, and we watch Facebook all the time, you always want to use traffic. You are creating an ad for people to click on the ad and to drive that traffic to our tool to capture the lead. It gives you a campaign name. I actually recommend you give it a campaign name. I'm going to call it Value Woodbury. And I would probably put the date, just so I know. That's because you should actually be running multiple ads every week. You should at least be running one ad about a listing, whether you borrowed it or not, on Facebook for 20 bucks every week, like Monday or Tuesday. Because if you run an ad for $20 on Facebook about an ad, whether it's yours or not, people can see it for 20 miles around, and you'll probably have somewhere from 3,000 to 5,000 people see that. And you got to think of where can you spend 20 bucks and have 3,000 people know you're a realtor. There just aren't many places like that. But there's a lot of people on Facebook, and they're going to see that. So open house Woodbury date, just sold Woodbury date. In this case, value for home value, Woodbury, and the date, right? And then click continue. And the power of this, and you're welcome to jump into questions because even though Facebook advertising has been around a lot, there are a lot of people that don't know what's really going on here. And I want people to know what's going on here because it's a very valuable place to be. The location is really the issue. Where is Woodbury? What state is that? Maybe it'll tell me. Minnesota. Okay. So the way that Facebook does it is they say, okay, here's Woodbury, Minnesota, and plus 25 miles. Okay. Now, I don't want to have it plus 25 miles because this page is only talking about Woodbury. If I wanted to get listings out of Stillwater, I would create a Stillwater page and do the same thing, right? If I wanted business in Hastings, I would create a Hastings page and do it the same way. So you first thing you do is click this little drop down and say current city only. The second thing you do is say everyone in this location. No, only people who live in this location are going to see this ad. The other thing is there's a minimum age bracket, and you probably don't want 18-year-olds clicking on your ads. So you choose your bottom age, right? Now, detailed targeting can be really powerful, but honestly, we don't train people to do demographics. You actually get a lot of leads and a lot of business from just doing it just the way. You can exclude people, and you'll often hear people say you should exclude realtors. If you're doing a home value ad, okay, maybe you should exclude realtors. If you're doing something that's for sale or an open house, I would not exclude realtors. I would want realtors to know because they're going to bring buyers. Okay. But that's kind of it. That's where you go there. Here is the number one place where mistakes are made when trying to capture listing leads. It is this placement section. And it's easy to make a mistake because you don't know what placements are, and they're telling you what they recommend, which is automatic placements. When you are running an ad for home values with a page like this, you want to turn this into edit placements. Click the radio button and say, no, not all devices. Turn off mobile and have it only work on desktop. And I'm going to slow down here because this usually just like freaks all agents out. Because a lot of agents know that so many searches happen on mobile. 30% of all internet time on smartphones in the world is on Facebook. So yeah, people are on their smartphones on Facebook, right? But if this page jams up in your phone, you're not going to be it's not as pretty. It's not as, people get scared of this on their phone. If I'm looking at it on my desktop like this, it's like, oh yeah, I can see here I can get my home value. I know this clam shop over here, Krabby Amy's. Everybody knows that. So I know who this person. They know who I am. So I'm going to feel comfortable typing in my address and then on the next page giving you my email address, right? But if you jam all this up on my phone, people get scared. And so they just leave. And so one of the number one mistakes and questions is, I ran an ad, I put $30 on it, I got 40 clicks on it, but I got one lead. I got no leads. Like I got a small amount of leads. The same money could be put, and if you run the ad on desktop, you're going to get 20 leads. And that's really the success of it. So I want you to know that. Right column, you can turn it off, you can leave it on, it doesn't matter. Right column ads don't actually get much. The right column is this where it says audience size over here on the right. There will be an ad. Our brains are just wired not to even look there. Here is another big piece. Whenever you run an ad on Facebook, change it to lifetime budget. And it doesn't mean you're going to pay it for the rest of your life. What it literally means, and I don't know why they call it this, is that there is a time of the day when many people are on Facebook. There is a day of the week that many people are on Facebook. They know that. Their algorithms know that. I do not know that, and I don't think any of you know when that is. But if you change this budget to lifetime budget, it tells Facebook to drop your money at the most opportune time, meaning when are the most people going to be there. So I'll kind of go on this a little bit further. Whenever you're running a home value ad, start on Friday and end it on the following Monday. Okay? Just a 3-day ad. You can run an ad for a month. And there are a lot of agents that like to run ads for 30 days. And over time, they realize their ads actually don't generate any leads beyond 7 days. It's just sort of, I don't know, they just don't become valuable. I don't know why, they just don't even show up, I guess. So we always suggest that you're running ads for 4 or 5 days, 7 max. But For home value, this page works. People respond to it a lot more on the weekends. I don't know why that is. And I actually have a lot of clients who have said we actually get the most amount of leads early on the morning on Sunday morning. Maybe it's a time when it's actually quiet in the house and you have a cup of coffee and it's just not madness. And yeah, they see that and they click on it and you can get leads. So it doesn't matter the best time when they're going to be there. If you use lifetime budget, Facebook is going to put them. It's going to drop the money at the most opportune time for you. Then you click continue, and from here, this is pretty easy. You probably know this stuff. Choose the business page you want it on. I got my healthy food one here. I'm going to put it there. Always use single image ad unless you've got video. Then use single video, and then down here it says website URL. You want to put the website of where you're trying to drive traffic to. In this case, it's a home value page. But you could also drive them to an open house page, right? If you're running an open house ad. But we're, in this case, doing home value. And I want you boy, you see, Facebook has changed again. That's what I'm telling you. You got to get on our training calls. They totally change it. So it shows you a picture of what's going on. It says, what is your Woodbury, which is really weird. We should really change that. But I would put over here, free Woodbury home values. And up here, recent home values, home sales have affected your home value. That is a true statement, but it is not an effective statement. It is not something that gets people to click. So let me share with you the number. There are two statements that always get people to click. I don't know what the real number is in your neighborhood, but it might be something like 30 homes sold in Woodbury last month. I've even seen clients do like 400 homes sold this year. The high was, let's just put 400K, right? This will affect your home value. Your home value. And then the real money statement here is click here to get your automated online home value in less than 15 seconds. And that statement, as simple as it sounds, is really loaded because it's just code for so many things, right? Click here to get your automated home value means I don't actually have to talk to anybody. And since we're all like ADD now, I can spare 15 seconds, and free is always good in any marketing. Free is good. You know that. So these two statements work across the country. There are many other great statements, and if you want to learn those, I suggest you get into our mastermind group and see what people are saying of what they're writing on those ads. But at this point, you click confirm. Facebook is going to say, we're going to review this and we'll make it live. And at the end of the ad, in this case on Monday, Facebook is going to send you an email saying, congratulations, you had a successful ad on Facebook. And what that means is you succeeded in spending money on Facebook. It does not mean you succeeded in capturing any leads. And when that happens, you will see people come into our mastermind group and go, I ran an ad and I got like this or that. And there's really only a couple of functions. That email is also going to tell you the reach, and that reach will be somewhere from 2,000 to 5,000 people, and that means 2,000 to 5,000 people saw it. That means they're going to see you, the realtor. 2,000 to 5,000 people will see that you are a realtor. Here it says me no like you trans fats because that's my healthy eating page, right? But you, it's going to be me, the realtor at KW Woodbury or whatever it is. Now, that reach is relatively important, but it's really the website clicks. Did people click on my ad? If they didn't, there were two reasons why they didn't click on it. One is this language here on top was not very compelling. Two, this picture was not very compelling. And those are the two things that that people don't click on it because it just didn't look good enough. The picture wasn't pretty enough. You didn't write anything that was going there. If you've got a home that you just sold, I can tell you this, you could put a picture of the home here, especially if that home sold in like a week, right? I often hear we put something up for sale. It was in contract in 7 days, in 4 days. It went in, I got 8 offers. Those types of, that language is really valuable on top of this ad. So you could write something like that, put a picture of the home. This home was in contract in 7 days in WordPress. I got 8 more buyers waiting. Click here to get your home value. That's compelling stuff, right? There are plenty more ideas inside the system. The other error, so that's, if you don't have compelling language or compelling photo, you're not going to get many clicks. That's mistake number one. But the more often, the bigger mistake is you ran an ad, you got a whole lot of clicks, and you got no leads. And that means that you ignored this message I'm telling you about placements, and you ran it on mobile. And if you had taken it off mobile and you just put it on desktop only and you run it again, you're going to find yourself probably with a couple dozen leads. So that's my story for today. Can I answer any other questions for you?
I think you covered everything that we would want to know today.
Okay. There's always a lot. I can tell you, I would really love it if you all got into the mastermind group, searched on Dustin, but also search on this lady right here. I'm going to pull her, Calhoun, Vanessa Calhoun. And then I'm going to let you go because all of us, is that how you spell Calhoun? I can't remember. We'll see. Yeah. Vanessa came to us a few weeks ago, and so we had to put this up. So she's got 100 buyer leads, and this is a great example. She's like, this was my ad. This is what it looked like. This is what I wrote. And this is what it looked like on mobile. I spent $100 and I got 100 buyer leads on this. This is what the picture looked like. And this is what the lead capture looked like on the tool. And this is what my Facebook registration looks like. So our clients are sharing a lot of great information. This is from an open house. I actually know that Vanessa put in another post where she got 230 leads on one open house in a weekend. 230 buyer leads. That's pretty awesome. So get in our mastermind group, guys. If you need help with that, of course you can do it in support, but you can email me if you need to, and I'll get you in there somehow. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Vince. Have a great day.
Okie dokie. Take care. Bye-bye.